Oh, hey there, guys, and we
Hey,
are back with another PC build.
well, you are.
Yeah, part of the month of reinvention. Don't forget to like, dislike on all the videos. If you haven't done that thus far, go ahead and watch all of them you can, and do that. If you already watched them and you didn't leave any feedback, this is basically the last day for this set of content to do so. So go ahead and do all the voting you want. Dislike, like, I don't care. It all just determines, what direction I'm heading from here. But we're starting today's video with the gold build, which is basically one of our highest tier items here. You see the extreme gaming computers. It's the second from the top, and it carries a price tag that makes it quite a bit more valuable than some of the others. But as you might imagine, it is very capable of doing just about anything. So first off, I'll just shift over to our PC part picker list here for all the items on the list. So we're using a 4790K, basically the highest tier you can use in terms of any quad core, at least from Intel. You could opt for a quad core AMD product, but we're not doing that at the moment. You can request it, obviously. Just let us know. Send us an email or something. Next, we're using the NHD15 CPU cooler from Noctua. It's obviously quite a bit more expensive than a lot of the options out there. It's like $25 over the NHD14, but at this price, like at this level, you're going to want to overclock as much as possible. And it definitely improves on the aesthetics with these fans and the nice little cutouts here for your high profile memory on your motherboard. So you can opt out of the G-Skill Sniper here and go for something a little more high profile like Dominator Platinum memory or something. But we're throwing in 8 gigabytes of 2133 megahertz RAM that has a cast latency of 10, which means you can underclock it so that it has a cast latency of about 9, and it runs at 1833, and you can further underclock it to about a cast latency of 8 for 1600 megahertz, which is about the standard that most, if not all, motherboards by this point, at least any ones that aren't legacy, support by default. They're native. So this is G-Skill Sniper. First of all, it looks pretty nice. It's low profile enough. It doesn't have a very good picture there. It's not very large. And it generally just blends in with anything well. So that's why we've been consistently choosing G-Skill Sniper, as well as its low price point compared to some of the other kits. Overall, good kit. And you can obviously tell us, yeah, go ahead and underclock that memory for me, and we shall do so. Next, we're running a 120 gigabyte SSD here for your boot drive, a 240 gig SSD for any games you want to run on there, and then a 4 terabyte NAS hard drive. NAS hard drives are meant to run in hot situations. It's a 7200 RPM, 64 megabytes of cache hard drive. What was that called? Internal hard drive, and it runs just as well as any other NAS. A NAS is basically meant to read and write at nice speeds and stay relatively well operational in any sort of environment. And especially since it's a NAS drive, that means it's basically going to have a ton of storage. So that's why there's a 4 terabyte version. Basically, this is the sort of rig you'd want to get if you're recording or you have like endless amounts of media that you want to store on here. Get some 4K footage and upload all that to this hard drive, and you can hold a decent amount of it despite how large 4K content is. And then here's the real kicker for gamers: two 970s from Gigabyte, the Windforce edition, the triple fan cooler here. Very well regarded. It's a sturdy construction because of the metal faceplate on it and backplate as well. included with most, if not all, GTX 970s. I better go back to this page, give you a better view of it. It has quite the nice memory, or not quite the nice power delivery system in there. So it's going to get you nice clean power to your 970s and ensure you're not wasting a lot of that to heat, which would then decrease your performance essentially. It wouldn't allow you to get as high of an overclock, and it would, second of all, decrease the life of the card. So this is a really good setup. 2 of these in SLI. Most games are capable of SLIing, at least if you're playing some of the more mainstream titles. It doesn't have to be the most mainstream, but well-supported titles will be able to run these cards in tandem in SLI mode, and you will get great performance, especially if it scales well, like with Tomb Raider, the newest one, the Lara Croft, essentially survival one. Next we have our case, the NZXT Phantom White. It's actually the one I'm running my build out of, although I don't have my webcam on, so I can't show you. It's a very roomy case, I must say. It has a lot of features, like there's a button on the back where you can plug in all of your LED lights so that you can enable or disable them just by clicking that button. It also has a built-in fan controller, so if you don't like the few fans that it includes by default, you can add extra fans onto it and hook them up to that fan controller and be able to control your fans that way. Like, for example, right now, I always run my computer as silent as possible, so I have all the fans cranked down to absolute minimums. That's why you can't hear it, and that's why it's like barely audible out here. Any more things? It doesn't have a default memory card reader on the front I/O. It does have a USB 3, a USB 2, headphone and microphone jacks, and interesting enough, an external SATA 3 port. It's not like a SATA 3, it's actually considered slightly different. It's called an eSATA port, but essentially you can hook up hard drives without having to open up your case and use SATA 3 connection, although you do have to have an eSATA compatible device and an eSATA connection to hook up to it. Almost last but not least, we have our power supply, 600 watt 80 plus gold, since this is the gold build. It's got to be gold rated. So it's going to be, what is it? I think it's 92% efficiency or plus. Yeah, it's 90 to 92% efficient with all your power. So it will make sure that all the power you draw from the wall is better utilized and doesn't get wasted quite as much. It is a little bit pricier because of that 80 plus gold certification, because takes more money to make it more efficient, and especially in the case of platinum and titanium power supplies. Last but not least, we have our 3 SATA cables to hook up the 3 hard drives and the Windows 8 64-bit copy, which is actually looking pretty decent on Outlet PC in terms of price, $87 compared to the $100 it usually sells for. And this all rings up to, in reality, about, well, they must have lowered some prices or something, because that is definitely not the, well, maybe, is it? No, that's definitely not the price it was before. It was up about 2015, I believe, last time we checked. My guess is probably these SSDs probably went on sale. So at the moment it is a little overpriced on our website. We'll probably have to fix that, but for the moment it says $2124.99, so we'll go by that. It's a little bit of a weird number, but obviously we wanted to get it as close to $100 extra as possible, not like boost it up by an extra $25 to get it at $50. So let's go ahead and customize an Intel build here from iBuyPower and see how we compare to their pricing. So we'll go ahead and get the Phantom 4. I was about to say 420 again. I did that last time when I said this case, Phantom 240 gaming case, because it's also NZXT, and it's the next comparable case. It's about as close as I get with iBuyPower. Alright, that's fine. They don't recommend a major overclock on this. They don't even let you select it. Oh, Sin's going to eat. That's fine. Yep. Get some Ripjaws X in here, because it is G-Skill, and that's the closest comparable modules we can get. Oh, yeah, that certainly sounds like a tasty dinner. Memes. Let's see. So we want the EVGA one, because that is about as close as you can get. What are you talking about? I think you are wrong. This estimates our wattage at about 498. So I'm going to disregard your little warning there. I understand that you want to squeeze more money out of us, but that is not something I am up for. Next, we'll get a decent motherboard. We may just leave it with the default here. Video card. Okay, I guess just going to display that warning everywhere we go. We better leave it alone just to be safe. Yeah, we'll leave it alone for now. And we're using, what was it, 600 watt? 600 watt 80 plus gold. 80 plus bronze. I guess we'll go for the 80 plus gold 650 watt instead, because that's about as close as it's going to get. Next, what is this selecting again? Oh yeah, so we're going with a they don't have any 4 terabyte drives. I guess we'll add 2 terabyte drives to make up for that. Get the WD blacks, because those are meant for the same purpose, which is sitting in a rack and getting hot and staying operational. So we'll do that. We want a, oh, here we go. That's not the same, so we'll duplicate this guy. And last but not least, we want, oh, hold on, we may want to set it in RAID, just because it's the same price, but we need the extra thing to grab ourselves an SSD. So actually we need 2 SSDs. Ooh. So we'll do one of these. We'll grab one of those, and then we'll grab one of these. There we go. That's about as close as it's going to get to what we have. They don't let you select a whole lot of hard drives. Then again, they don't want it being noisy or anything from that. It looks good, and I think it's just smooth sailing from here to the end. Blah 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 monitors. Blah 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 overpriced. For monitors at least. And let's add it to the cart. So yeah, at the moment they do beat us out a little bit, but if you take into account the price here, they don't beat us out by much. If we adjust the price to the correct price now. Keep in mind this is with different hardware. It doesn't have quite the same stuff, especially not the video cards. These video cards are going to be more powerful, at least in terms of cooling power. They're going to be able to dissipate more heat, as well as this CPU cooler. This has been known to do more cooling than the H100i and the H110. I don't know if that comes in an I variant, but basically any all-in-one cooler is at this level, but louder. So this is your best option. I'm using this one, in fact, in my build right now. I'm considering lowering the boom arm right next to it to let you guys hear, but I don't know how easy that's going to be. So I'll vote against that for now. Heroic. Oh, there's a dumb cat. Hurry up, pitiful beast. There you go. memes. Absolute memes. Anyway, so at the moment they are a slightly better price on iBuyPower. But like I said, the video cards are different. You're not going to get the same performance out of those SSDs they put in there, as well as the I don't know what the standard quote unquote 2 terabyte hard drive that they're putting in there is, but we'll consider it to be the lower of the two options, whatever that was. Come on down here. We'll consider it to be the equivalent. Oh yeah, they just don't show you what it is. They say 2 terabyte hard drive. They're hiding something. Anyway, but if you want quality, you can obviously buy from us. Don't take this price point too seriously. We're going to change that for sure, because obviously the prices have shifted and we didn't notice. And that's kind of the point of this, is to make sure we have our stuff straight and we have a comparable build. Wait, hold on. I just noticed something. They're literally like $2 less than us right now. $2. Are you going to pay $2 to get better graphics cards, better looking case with more features on it, better SSDs, better memory, all that? And a better cooler to top it all off? You're going to pay for that? I think you should. $2 is a little bit for that much of an extra boost. And especially if you want to overclock, $10 would be added onto our price versus $20 for them, and we would get you the max overclock, where they're only going to give you about up to 4.4 gigahertz. You could probably take a standard 4790K ticket up to about 4.7, 4.8 on average. So just consider that as well. Because if you're going for this sort of thing, I'm assuming you're going to overclock it. But I guess that ends it off here. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like or dislike. Go back on the previous ones as well, like I said at the beginning of the video. But until next time, guys, oh, bye there.